Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr. H's Hot Pot. You join me today, currently, enjoying an all-inclusive beer, sunning myself on a Tunisian beach, where I'm on a week's holiday with Mrs. H and little Toby James. We've come over here for the school Easter break, just for a week, just sort of shake off the cobwebs type of thing and relax, because Mrs. H has been working hard these past 6 months and she needs this type of holiday. Normally we go off to somewhere like Florida or over to Germany and see sights or crash a theme park, but this time she just said, I'm that knackered, Roy. I just need an holiday where we're sitting by a beach and doing nothing, and that's what we're currently doing. We won't be venturing outside of the hotel, we'll just be staying here on resort, enjoying all the free beer and things like that, and just recharge our batteries, because she's currently stepped up in role in a line of work. Someone's been on long-term sick and she's stepped into the breach, and she's had a lot of work. Her workload's increased. She's a teacher and she's sort of stepped up into a role which she wouldn't normally do, which involves a lot of hard work. So fair play, we're doing this type of holiday. Now, I don't like this type of holiday. I did one of these back in 2007 after my mother had passed away, and I was knackered after dealing with all the funeral and wrapping someone's life up. And what I don't like about these type of holidays is if you step off resort, there's always somebody trying to sell you something. You walk down the street and you get approached. Yes, yes, sir, you like, you buy. Please come in my shop. Please come into the restaurant. And it's like, no, mate, piss off. I'm on holiday. Leave me alone. And they don't take no for an answer. They just pow fag you, as we say back in Wigan. Pow fagging, for those of you who don't know what it means being tormented and pestered. So yeah, I'm just going to do a quick walk round of the hotel. I'll show you what it looks like, and then that's it from Tunisia. I'm not going to be doing any other videos because there's nothing to document. If you've been on one all-inclusive holiday, you've been on them all. But I just thought I'd put this video out there, mainly because I won't be doing anything for a week, which isn't unusual for me, is it really? Sometimes I can go a couple of months without making a video when I'm busy, but I just thought I'd put this video out there for those of you who'll be wondering where I am. Also, a big thank you to everybody out there who's commented on my latest pie review from Berries in Leyland. I'm sorry I've only replied to one of you. It's not as that particular viewer is favoured over anybody else. It's simply, by the time I'd uploaded that and got it all online, I was literally leaving for John Lennon Airport so that I could fly over here. So it was a bit of a crash bang wallop job. But I have read all your comments, and a big thank you for them all. Anyway, I think it's time for another beer, and we'll take a little look around the hotel complex, and we'll take a look at our digs, because the rooms are rather quirky. And if you're a fan of Star Wars, you'll be able to see where they got the inspiration for that little place. Is it Tatatouille in Star Wars? You'll be able to see where they got the inspiration from, because I believe it was filmed over here, wasn't it? And the set was just abandoned, although now it's been reopened as a bit of a tourist attraction. But you'll be able to see where they got the local architecture they got their inspiration from. Anyway, I'll finish this beer off now, go and get another one, and we'll take a look at the hotel. So, Potters, with beer refill achieved, we'll make our way through the hotel and take a look at the accommodation, as they are rather quirky. And I want to get out of this area as quickly as I can, simply because they're playing music in the background and YouTube doesn't like that. Best way to get your video demonetised, that, have a little bit of music in the background. Many a YouTuber's been done that way. And this is the main courtyard here. And these hotels, they all look the same, don't they? These all-inclusive hotels around the world. You've been to one, you've been to them all. There's always somebody trying to flog you something in the hotel lobby, isn't there? Come on this trip and ride a camel or a quad bike or something like that. Nah, not for me. And they always have a name, don't they? An anglicised name, like, they say, hi, I'm Sam. Your name's not Sam. You know, it's something we can't pronounce. I suppose they do that to try and build a rapport with you, don't they? Anyway, we'll make our way down here. Just let these good people in front of me go past. And here we are. This is Ambush Alley, this one, Hot Potters. This is the one where they try and sell you stuff. Just have to keep moving and no eye contact. I don't know. But yeah, another thing as I don't like about the all-inclusive holiday is you very quickly end up in Groundhog Day, don't you? There's nothing to do really, only live from one meal to the next. And as soon as that meal time comes round, you're there. Oh, I have to get in. Although it's all going all the time, isn't it? So that's something else I don't like about it, if I'm being fair. Yeah, this is where all the accommodation is. This is where all the rooms are. And I'll whip the camera around in a moment, and you'll be able to see just where Star Wars got its inspiration from. Not this resort, of course, but obviously the Tunisian architecture. And they are quite quirky, these little things. This is what sold Mrs. H on it, really. She says, oh, I've got to stay in one of them. So I thought, why not? You do a lot of holidays for me, so I'll come on and do your type of holiday. Anyway, without further ado, let's whip the camera around and take a look at these accommodation blocks, shall we? They beat a Butlin chalet, let's put it that way. And here we are. This is what these accommodations look like. And straight away, as you can see, with those little domes on the roof, that's where they got the inspiration from in Star Wars. We'll make our way down one of the alleyways and we can take a close look at the front of them. And what I really love is these archways. On some of them, they've actually got flowers growing. It's only been open this about 5 weeks, so they've probably not got it all going as they would like it. Probably towards the end of the season, it'll look a lot different. But as you can see, very Moroccan, very Mediterranean and Greek type feel to it. And I like this on these doors here. All these motifs. But they're lovely to stay in. Not big by any stretch of the imagination, but they are comfortable, and as I say, they do beat a Butlin chalet. Now, I've no idea what's actually in those domes. I'm guessing that's where all the water tanks and stuff are. That's the builder in me, that Hot Potters. I always look at things and try and work out how they've been constructed. It never leaves you, although I left the construction trade a long time ago. And the people here are very friendly. Apparently, from what I've been told, we're staying pretty close to Montseur in Tunisia, and if you go into there, so you're off resort, you know, they can be a little bit more, shall we say, a little bit more insistent, a little bit more aggressive in the sales. But the people on this resort, it's the one resort, Aqua Park, they've been fantastic. I can't fault them. Very friendly, non-pushy. Even Alibaba, and I'm not kidding you, that was what he calls himself, who sells you the camel trips and stuff. The minute we said no, we're not interested, we don't want to leave the hotel, we're just staying here for the week, he backed off, which was fair play to him. He was a little bit surprised, but at the end of the day, I don't want to be going sitting on a wet, smelly camel for a ride. And a quad bike, well, I can do that back at home. But it's just lovely. Just look at that. Can't beat it. Those over there, that one, right in the background there, them are the premier rooms. Little Toby's palled on with another little lad and they're staying in them. And the only gripe they have, they're on the top floor and there's no lift. Do apologise for that. I don't know what's going on in that room. And the other bugbear we've had with this is, as you can see, they're in blocks of 4. And all the hot water runs off one boiler and one tank. So if you're in the end one, like we are, and you've got 3 large families, next door but 1, next door but 2, next door but 3, you ain't getting any hot water. It's been one of those we've been turning the tap on and saying, oh, there's some hot water, quick, jump in the shower now. But I just love these are fantastic. As I say, further on in the year, there'll be all flowers lining them. One or two of them do have them, but not many, as they've only been open, as I say, for 5 weeks. It's the beginning of the season for them. Yeah, I can heartily recommend coming here. Anyway, we'll get off here. I'll find a little pog and park myself down, and we'll wrap this video up, I think. So what, Potters, I've managed to negotiate my way, navigate my way through all these rooms. They all look the same. It's very easy to get lost, but I managed to find my way back to the one that we're staying in. It isn't some random persons. You won't see somebody pop up there and shoo me off the balcony. But before I go, because this is the only video that I'm going to be making during this Tunisian holiday, simply because there's not really a lot to document. As I've said earlier on, if you've seen one all-inclusive hotel in the world, you've seen them all. They all operate the same, and they're the same the world over. So there's no point to keep making video after video. This is just a one-off. But before I go, here's a few tips that I've learned whilst being here. Now, I'm by no means an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but if you can speak a little bit of French past bonjour and being able to tell people your name, je m'appelle Roy, je m'appelle Mr. H, if you can get past that, you'll go a long way. English isn't the first language over here, and although on this resort they've been taught certain phrases such as the beer please and things like that, get into a full-blown conversation in English and they will be on the back foot and they will get lost. Likewise, if you fire off in French, you know, you do your old schoolboy French like I did, you'll soon be on the back foot and lost. So it can be a bit of a problem that. There is a bit of a language barrier there. Certainly if you get off site, if you leave the resort and you go into the markets, such as Montseur and places like that, you will find you'll struggle. However, you will be able to get by. It is a closed currency here, and probably the dollar is the better one to bring. It's more stronger than certainly the euro at the minute. It's pish, isn't it, the euro at the minute, thanks to Donald Trump. And sterling's not far behind it. But if you give them those notes, they'll give it you back in Tunisian money. And the problem with that is because it's a closed currency, you can't take it out of the country. You can't say, oh, it'll do for next time. They'll take it off you at the airport. And it is a criminal offence to take their money out of the country. So that's something to bear in mind. You need to get rid of it. And the only way to do that is if you get your money exchanged at the hotel, they'll give you a receipt, and you then need to keep that receipt and take it back to the reception and change it back before you leave. It can be very difficult, that. And one of the little tricks that we found, if you go and buy a little souvenir, they'll give you change in their currency, which means you then have to spend it there or give it up, basically. You can't do anything with it because they won't give you a receipt. So that's something to bear in mind. Not a major scam, not something that's going to stop me from coming here again, but it's just something to bear in mind. And of course, the other usual people to keep away from is what they call the lucky men. If anybody tries tying anything around your wrist, stop them straight away, pull your arm away, say no, and demonstrate loudly that you don't want that. Otherwise, they're going to put you an arse bracelet on and then they're going to demand money for it. That happens the world over, doesn't it? But yeah, that's about it from me. The only other thing I would say is, if you do find a waiter or somebody that does something for you, tip them. What's a couple of quid to you and it's nothing back home will mean a lot to these people. And they don't do it just for that. They're not smarmy like in Turkey and places like that. They do it just simply because they want to. But if you've got a couple of quid to spare and you've had somebody that's been good with you, tip them. It makes their day, and it's nice to be nice when all's said and done. Anyway, that's about it for me. The next time I'll see you, I'll be back in dear old Blighty and up to my usual stuff. So, that's it for me for a week. So until the next time, bye-bye for now.